Have you ever wondered what is the absolute best formula to get in tip-top shape? I see people running, swimming, working out, biking, doing all of these extreme sports in order to get in tip-top shape. And I can tell you right now, my friend, that if you are that person, I know you're frustrated because most likely you have not hit your goal, or even worse, you got a little taste of it, but you couldn't really sustain it because it was so hard to get there. You had to do so many gut-wrenching workouts, and at some point you simply said, you know what, it's too much. I'm not gonna continue doing that, and you gave up. If this is you, this video is for you, but more importantly, at the end of this video, I'm going to share my formula that I shared inside of my book that will get you in tip-top shape in record time in a very easy way. I know that sounds gimmicky and you're probably thinking, what's the catch? Well, I'm gonna speak with you about the catch. There is a little catch to this particular kind of cardio. And I'm gonna tell you right now that if you stay consistent with it, you're gonna look better than 100% of the people that you encounter at the gym. So hang tight with me. I wanna ask you a quick question. If you've ever been to a conventional gym, one of these big gyms, and for some reason you've gotten there early in the morning, you've probably seen the big bodybuilder guy. Typically they look like this. They have a hoodie on and they're going super slow in their treadmill. They're just walking kind of really slow. And you're probably looking over there and wondering, what is that person doing? Why is he going so slow? Is he even doing anything, right? Bodybuilders have figured out the code to decreasing body fat percentages and getting rid of unwanted weight. As a matter of fact, the sport of bodybuilding focuses specifically on decreasing body fat as they gain muscle. So they have become very laser beam focused on what it actually takes to decrease these body fat percentages. I'm reminded of my friend Crystal, and Crystal has a pretty amazing story. Crystal had worked with coaches. Crystal had been on every single fad diet known to mankind, and she had never been able to achieve her goal. One day she looked outside of her window and she saw her next door neighbor, who, these are her words, was a chain smoker, a chain drinker, and just had a really bad lifestyle. And all of a sudden she saw her get super in shape in record time. Her words were, I looked out my window and she disappeared before my eyes. Literally, it happened overnight. But because Crystal knew her next door neighbor, she didn't put a lot of faith in her transformation. She actually thought she was on some kind of starvation diet and that eventually she would gain that weight right back. So she didn't say anything to her neighbor then and there. She waited for 6, 8, 12, a year and a half. And finally, a year and a half into seeing this tremendous progress where she had stopped smoking, stopped drinking, she had lost this weight. Every time she looked out her window, she saw her next door neighbor doing some kind of exercise. She was always in leggings, and she had just adopted this very new, healthy lifestyle. So finally, she went up to her and she said, hey, I have seen you get in amazing shape in the last year and a half. You've been able to maintain it. I've tried every single program. I've worked with coaches. I've worked with trainers. What is it that you were doing? So she smiled and she said, well, I can give you all the details, but I think it's best if you speak with my coach. She came on a call just like the ones I generally do with people that are trying to come on my program. She was super skeptical for 45 minutes. She told me of all the reasons why she wasn't going to succeed on my program. But towards the end of that call, she said, you know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. She says, I've already done everything and anything that there's out there in terms of weight loss. I have nothing to lose. Let me just get on your program and see what you have to offer. She came on a program, and exactly 90 days in, she lost 42 pounds in 90 days. Now, Crystal had more weight to lose. So actually, Crystal stayed with us for a full 6 months, lost a total of 62 pounds on our program. Her transformation was so incredible that she actually quit her corporate job, and she is now one of our lead coaches creating transformations all over the world, inspiring people with her story, with all the ability that she has to really just inspire and motivate people to move forward. But if you ask Crystal today what she did, she would tell you that she specifically did these 3 things that I'm going to share with you. These 3 secrets are secrets that are not necessarily secrets. Everyone sort of knows them. The problem is they don't have an order to them. More importantly, they don't have this specific number that I'm going to give you at the end of this video, and it's going to be the absolute best way to get you in tip-top shape. So you're ready? Secret number 1 is calorie deficit. Once again, That's not a big secret, right? We all know that in order to lose weight and decrease body fat percentages, we have to be in a calorie deficit. And most people try to achieve that through starvation diets, fad diets, extreme exercising. They're constantly running, biking, swimming, and doing all of these things. And we know these things don't work, but we need to get into a deficit. So secret number one is you need to be in a deficit that is actually sustainable and not painful. And I'm also, towards the end of this, going to show you how to do that very specifically. Number two, which I, as a transformation specialist, disagree with because I see people pay thousands of dollars and go through all types of surgery in order to get to their ideal weight, right? They do lipos, they do gastric bypass, adjustable gastric banding, the sleeve, gastronomy, whatever they call that thing. And it's all basically to shrink your stomach or make you eat less to create that deficit, right? And so secret number two for most people is surgery. I don't know if that's an option for you, but my friend, if you're considering it, I'm telling you right now, there's no need to go that route. I have an even better route for you. Number three, and my final secret. This is what we've been waiting for, and this is what my book reveals. One of the things that my book reveals that is one of the things that is probably one of the strongest pillars inside of our program. So you ready for this? It's going to be more simple than you ever imagined. I want you to walk. That's right. I want you to power walk. My friend, if you've ever seen people in Europe or in Asia, you wonder why most of these people tend to stay lean and strong. And you're like, wait a second. Don't Asians eat rice all the time? Don't Latin Americans eat carbohydrates with every single meal? And the answer to that is yes. But what they've figured out is that they walk everywhere, right? They take the bus, they take public transportation, but for that they have to actually get to places walking. And so they're probably walking at least 1 mile a day. And this is what keeps most of these people super lean. Now, beyond that, right, if you want to get more specific on weight loss, the thing that I would recommend is walking at 60 to 70% of your actual max heart rate, okay? 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. And the reason this is important is because that particular rate is going to target fat stores, okay? Fat is a slow burning fuel, and you need to go for an extended period of time, and you generally can't do that running or doing anything too extreme because you can't hold on to that kind of intensity for so long, and you actually tap into carbohydrates versus tapping into glycogen, which is really what we are trying to trigger. So you want to do that for 45 minutes to an hour. And this is going to make sure that you're targeting fat cells and actually decreasing body fat percentages. Is there more to the equation? Yes, you should pair that with a sustainable nutrition plan like the Empty Your Bucket plan, or there's many other things out there that can work. But one of the reasons I am biased about the Empty Your Bucket plan is because we've created 3 strategic phases so that you don't have to depend on a deficit for the rest of your life. And more importantly, we want to get you to that goal in a painless way. So hear me out. This is the mathematical equation for your heart rate that you've been waiting this entire video. If you haven't heard anything, just do this 3 times a week and you're going to see tremendous results in your journey to losing weight and decreasing body fat percentages. I want you to take the number 220, okay? And you're going to minus your age, okay? But the number you get, right? The number you get from that, I want you to multiply by 0.60, okay? And that's gonna give you your low end. So let's say you are 42 and that number is 110, right? Low end. You take that same equation, 220 minus your age, right? Whatever you get from that, you multiply by 0.70, okay? Let's call that 120, right? You're gonna take the low end and the high end and you're going to stay within that range, okay, for 45 minutes to an hour. Please consult your physician. If you don't have any problems doing this on an empty stomach, my friend, there are many schools of thinking out there that say that fasted cardio is no different than actual full stomach cardio. I disagree with that. I'm a big fan of empty stomach cardio as long as you can do that and it's not in any way, shape, or form putting you in danger, or maybe you have to take meds first thing in the morning. Please listen to whatever your doctor has to say about this. But more importantly, you want to make sure that you're on an empty stomach, that you have that mathematical equation, that you walk for that extended period of time, 45 minutes to an hour. You want to pair that with a great diet like the Empty Your Bucket nutrition plan, which has 3 phases, and it's going to teach you how to walk through, how to create a deficit, how to come into maintenance, and then of course, how to sustain that for the rest of your life. Guys, my name is JT Tapias, professional fitness life coach, and this is what I do. This is what I've done for the last 24 years is help people get in amazing shape. This is going to sound cheesy, but we take people from being couch potatoes to being super potatoes in no time, right? Super cheesy, but hear me out. What I mean by that is that the people that come on our programs are not athletes, they're general population, and we teach them how to do these principles very easily and painlessly. And so if you've been struggling with these things, my friend, try this walking that I just mentioned, and you're gonna see radical changes. If it becomes tedious and you happen to be a believer, you're a Christian, or you thinking you want to do meditation, you want to meditate, right? Throughout this process, this is another way to make the best use of this particular strategy. For me personally, it is a great time for me to go and actually pray as I'm walking and I'm doing my morning prayer walk, right? I sometimes do it on a treadmill, sometimes I go outside, or sometimes I have a decision to make and I pray about that decision and I use that 45 minutes to just pray and think about the best option for that particular question that I have. My friend, I walk away from that physically energized, mentally energized, and more importantly, spiritually energized. I know of no better thing to do first thing in the morning than to get up, do my power walk, pray, and when I get back, I'm ready for the day. I have primed my day, and my friend, most of my days go amazing. I'm efficient. My cognitive abilities are there. I'm on my toes. I have good retention. I'm creative. I have energy, and I truly, truly, truly attribute all that to power walking on an empty stomach and saying my prayers.